Here comes the Clifford Nicgorski Show. Get your eyes and ears ready to go. Welcome to the Clifford Nicgorski Show. We're gonna have a damn good time. Welcome to the Clifford Nicgorski Show. Welcome to the hell of a time. Welcome to the Clifford Nicgorski Show. We're gonna have a hell of a time. Hello, and welcome to the Clifford Nicgorski Show. I'm so happy to be here with you to discuss life, the way of the world, and just the way that people think, the different kind of ways that they think. Lizzo's in the news, you know. I'm sure you'll hear a lot about that from people. Apparently, she has let some people down, allegedly, and was very cruel, rude, obnoxious, degrading to her background dancers and staff and people that would work with her. A lot of people have different feelings about that. Some people think, hey, it's Lizzo, you know, she's my girl. There's no way. There's got to be good reason for her. She has to be twice as powerful, twice as aggressive towards people, because she's a larger woman and she needs to empower herself. You know, maybe she grew up in a situation and found herself in a situation where things weren't given to her easily, so maybe she has more of a harsh attitude towards people and life in general. She's like, I gotta own this. And maybe deep down inside, she doesn't fully own who she is, what she is. One thing that I know is, like Aretha Franklin, you wouldn't hear her talking heavily about her weight and her telling us that she's somebody of notoriety, or that she's not, you know, she kind of just was the person. And then we gave the acclaim. She didn't direct us and tell us how to feel about her. She legitimately didn't care what we thought. But I know for a lot of people, they are disappointed. And with that, all I could think is, how are we disappointed in this woman when we don't know this woman? We don't know what she's about, truly. We know what's presented to us, and she's an entertainer, and she presents this character named Lizzo, and Lizzo does things a certain way. You know, Lizzo, she don't take no crap. Lizzo, the character, she's gonna go to the airport with see-through pants and a thong up her ass, and that's her character. That's what she does. But us as the general public, we're just supposed to enjoy the character. We're not supposed to be behind the scenes and get to know the real person. I mean, time and time again, I think we'll find ourselves disappointed when we place too much of how we're affected. You have to understand you're being affected by a character. You're not being affected by a regular person, a person that you know, that you spend time with, You see them on their bad days, their good days. And I feel like that used to be more understood. You know, when you see a celebrity on television or saying that they use a certain toothpaste, supporting different products, that's like all a character. That's not them personally loving that brand of shampoo or that brand of makeup. And then they went, hey, can I please be a part of the advertisement campaign? Because this is my favorite shampoo. And it would be great to do business with you guys because this is all I use at home. All I use is L'Oreal. So I don't know. I think that when we look at these celebrities, we really need to think about what we're subscribing to. Like Chris Pine or, Chris Pratt. Let's say Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt, we know him from Parks and Recreation as a lovable guy, Andy. And, he's very cute and lovable and innocent. You don't see Andy being cruel and mean and vicious. So then when you see Chris Pratt at an award ceremony, once again, that guy that you're seeing is still in character. That's who he's selling to the public. For all we know, Chris Pratt goes home and he's horribly abusive to his family and wife and, rents prostitutes and eats kiwis out of their asshole. Lizzo likes to have her dancers eating bananas out of sex workers' pussies. Maybe Chris Pratt likes to eat kiwis and have his wife eat a kiwi out of someone's asshole. We don't know what these people are up to. So you shouldn't be shocked. I mean, one of the biggest things going on the internet now is exposing Hollywood. Do you think you get to just pick and choose which celebrities are the real deal and which ones are just putting on a show and which ones are the good ones, which ones are the bad ones? We need to think for ourselves. We can't base our lives and our life decisions and how we treat each other, the things we do, based on celebrity endorsement or perception as much as you would base it off of a cartoon character. Because at that point, there's probably better characters throughout history, throughout just all the different novels and comic books and different cartoons, and there's probably a lot better characters. I mean, these are usually the same people that don't like people who are into Jesus. It's like, hey, we don't like that character. We don't like that you follow the lead of this character. But meanwhile, you're like looking to Lizzo for direction on how you should behave in your life. So I think that there's
For the time is near, the feast approaches. Stare not into the eyes of the seven-headed beast, for whoever wears its mark will die, will be thrown into the lake of fire.
Okay. Well, maybe I spoke too soon, Maybe they're the perfect place to go. I think celebrities do some great things for us, and that there are some of the finest examples you can find in this world. I mean, Tom Hanks, he's a good role model. He's a great role model, actually. He's lovable. He's always playing these sweet characters that touch our hearts. I see no problem in just following blindly to any character you relate to, be it Jamie Foxx. Who else is really good? Oprah. Oprah is a great role model. I mean, do what Oprah does on television. Don't do what she does in real life. I think there's a lot to gain from it. And these are the people that are on protest right now. We stand to lose these people. They might not be around much longer. They're not getting paid. They deserve to live a life far beyond what you or me, the average person, could ever afford. And what do we get? What do we get in return? When we spend our hard-earned money, I like to know that it's going towards keeping people with skin treatment, treatments like where they're taking Korean children's foreskin and grinding them up, putting them in a magic bullet blender and having the DNA sucked out of it and put directly into Sandra Bullock's face. I mean, I want to know that my money's going somewhere good. I can't afford to go to the Spectrum Club and take ice baths every day and bathe in Evian water and have a couple different therapists and a nutritionist and a personal trainer or any of these things that these celebrities have access to. But I want them to, because they're out there setting the example for the rest of us. We don't know what we're doing. All I'm saying is none of this in-between stuff, You either gotta go full celebrity worship and you should actually be angry when people go into their personal lives and go digging around. It's none of our business, really. But then there's that sick part of us. We want to know what's going on in their lives. Like you watch the Kardashians. See, they have it right. They know that you're gonna tune into their show and you're gonna get to know a lot about their personal life, but it's not their real personal life. It's the show version of their real life. And that's why they have writers. I mean, right now, the writers are on strike. So I'm sure at this point, the Kardashians are just hanging tight, hanging out in their mansion. I mean, they don't know who to date. They don't know what theme to go with for their yearly vacation where they all travel to some cool, beautiful destination vacation, which island to go to. They don't know that stuff because it's being written for them, as it should, as it always should. Every bit of information we have about a celebrity's personal life should be filtered through a team of writers first, so we can protect our ideals and our expectations of how they live. So that way we know how to live. See, they can do whatever they want, but it's us, the general public, the people who maybe don't have a lot of money or means to go on lavish trips, and the people down at Versace, they don't have time to do all of our weddings. They can do Kourtney Kardashian's wedding. They don't have enough time for us all to put together outfits using all their outfits that already were successful in a runway show produced by each one of us. They've got to do that only for these special occasions like celebrities. So we need to really just tune in, and we want to get our news filtered through the team of writers, and then we will see how to live our life. I mean, again, people don't like Bible characters or people that are very religious in this world. I've noticed that. But I think it's actually just our way of saying, hey, these are the characters we relate to. Now, I don't know what Jesus was like when he was sitting there on the toilet taking a crap. He might be just sitting there daydreaming about all sorts of wild stuff. He might get pretty irritated. Maybe Jesus had a pet cat that wouldn't stop peeing on the bed, or scratching up his good robes. Hey, this robe, I gotta wear this thing tomorrow. Okay? I've got a sermon on the Mount to do. It's like my last big press conference, basically. And the cat's over here scratching on it, peeing on it. Where am I going to get this thing cleaned in time? And so he could be thinking horrible things. I want to throw this cat off the side of a cliff somewhere. Maybe find some kind of a demon and put his soul in a herd of pigs, and then run the pigs off the side of the mountainside. Like Jesus did with Legion. Hey, my cat's a real asshole. How about I put you, I banish your soul into, a snail, and then throw you into a bucket of salt. Who knows? Who knows the things that he thinks, but that's not important. What's important is what was presented to us as the example. So whatever characters that you believe in or enjoy or find motivational, just know these people aren't perfect people. In fact, some of them may be horrible people, but they are entertaining. And if you listen to the message and you can take that, maybe you're living better than Oprah at the end of the day, because you've adapted all these lessons from her. And maybe you listen to Ellen DeGeneres and you live the way she talks about and preaches that someone should live. Now you're doing great, but who's really there for Ellen? Who's there for Oprah? Who's there for the Kardashians at the end of the day? It doesn't matter, because they're on a yacht somewhere and they're having crazy sex and sexual experiences beyond our wildest imagination. Anything that Oprah can think of, she can pretty much do. If she's laying around one day and she's just like, I think I want to kill someone, that can happen for her that day, If Ellen's sitting there like, hey, you know what? I've always wanted to light somebody on fire. Let's make it happen. We can do that. I've always wanted to kill an elephant. I've always wanted to have sex with, a sloth. She can do that. They can do that stuff. But I mean, the world would be in chaos if we all had access to that. So it's good. You don't want the whole world rich and famous and powerful. That would be horrible. So it's very important for us to understand our role in this world and know that there's really no need for us to have access to all these amenities, if you will, life amenities on a mass scale. None of us, I mean, the world would surely be just in ruins if we all had that kind of power. So our role is important. Our role is we take the message that they're giving to us because they know what we like. They've got a lot of research, a lot of money, a lot of statistics, a lot of AI marketing tools to let them know what we want to hear. And so they give that to us. So whenever you're upset about something on television, like, oh, American Horror Story, I hate this, you need to then ask yourself, why is there so many seasons of it? Why does it keep getting made? They're gonna make it till we make ourselves sick. If you don't like the characters that they're putting on TV, if you're going, oh man, why? I'm trying to watch this show about the fire department and every other character is a lesbian or a transsexual. You need to, at that point, ask yourself, in some way, I must have wanted this. This is exactly what I asked for, and I'm getting it. Now I'm angry. We're basically like children, What do you want for breakfast today, little Jimmy? I want ice cream. And so you give the kid ice cream, and then the kid eats the ice cream. He's all excited, and then he's sick and feels like shit the rest of the day. So we are nothing more than children, petulant children who have access to anything we want, any kind of entertainment we want, and the entertainment industry is like our guardian who gets to go, we done the research, we know what you want to see, and we're gonna give it to you until you're sick and you can't stand it anymore. Then we're gonna put out the next thing that makes you sick, and the next thing. So if you want to protect that, I think my advice would be, don't talk so much about things you believe in or talk about the things you care about most in this world, because it will be exploited by the entertainment industry.
All will stare into the beast's eyes. Turn off your internal dialogue. Follow your urge for blood, for gold. And all will be forgiven, and all will be forgotten.
Okay, on second thought, make sure to go on Facebook, social media, anywhere you can, and let as many people know. Try to get the message through to the entertainment industry and the powers that be that exactly what you want. That you want more violence, less violence. you want more bathing suit options at Target, we should let them know, because that way we always get what we want. We always get to be told exactly what we want to hear. And that keeps us busy. And I think it's really important to keep us busy. You know, we don't want these idle hands. You know, that'll get us into trouble. What we want is dieting tips and extreme fast food. We kind of want it all. Give me the lasagna burger from Carl's Jr., but also tell me how to lose the weight from eating all of this shit. We want burning hot, spicy chicken, but we also want a healthy gut. We want it all. So, I don't know. I guess just have fun with it and be thankful that we live in a country that caters to us. And it really does. It gives us outrage at all the right times. It makes us feel like racism is the number one issue, that transgender rights are the number one issue, that it makes some people feel like their country's being taken over and changing too quick. It makes people feel helpless. It makes people feel attacked. And that's really our comfort zone. We like the outrage. I mean, we're not out there hunting lions. We're not out there really doing the hard work that it should take to thrive off of nature like we used to do. You know, all this stuff was passed down to us. So we have like this desire to survive, but when we have access to everything that we want, what are we fighting for? How do we get out those feelings of needing to survive? I guess we need controlled outrage. Controlled outrage, and the young people really have it the worst because they are struggling to find new ways to upset people. But you know, it's like reruns. We're gonna have to like circle back around to the old topics, but then find new ways to tweak them just a little bit. The problem is, the longer that we move forward in time, the more we have to redo things. Where if you go even just back 50 years, even 30 years, I'll even give you 20 years. We had new kinds of music coming out and like new variations, but we're recording all this stuff and we're over 100 years of recording music, and we've heard it all, and there's only so much you can do to make these sounds seem unique and interesting before we're just exhausted and everything just turns into mush. They talk about the record industry. Well, I talk about it. I Googled it and I saw that there was like maybe something like 30,000, 50,000 new albums a year in the 60s, 70s that would come out and be available. And this is like brand new variations of rock and roll. There was things just being discovered like synthesizers, drum machines, all these interesting new tools to create new kinds of music. And there was still a limited amount of of albums coming out a year. But in today's modern times, we get about 100,000 new singles released every single day, and 100,000 new albums every year. And this is not cutting edge music we're talking about. This is just the same crap, slightly adjusted. There's only so many ways to blend rock and rap or blues and electronic and all these jazz and big band, and there's only so many shapes of pants that you can make, and fashion's just kind of where like a style would last you quite some time. Now it's just like every year, every 8-9 months, it's like, okay, what do we do with pants now? What do we do? What are we wearing for shirts? It's just all these people that are afraid to be themselves and have any kind of unique style that they kind of hold on to and go, hey, I like this. And people would tell you that they're these real interesting types of people. Like, I like to mix it up. I don't know that you like to mix it up as much as you like to fit in and keep up with the latest fashion trends and fads. So I would say try to find something unique, something that's just you, you know, and hold on to it for a minute. Develop it. Don't just throw out your skinny jeans one day and buy a big pair of Dickies and Jinkos today, and then next week you're dressed like a 50s greaser, and you do that for a couple weeks. Now, I know what people might be thinking, hey, that's fun. I like that. That's like that's what style is all about. You know, don't tell me how to live. But the thing is, that's not your true feelings on it. You've been brainwashed, and you think you need to change your clothing every few weeks, and you think you're this kind of person that you probably really aren't. You're probably not as spiritual as you'd like to think that you are. I know there's a lot of language going around, and I feel like, again, in 2023, we have so many words for things that words really just get in the way at this point. There's people who are just parroting whatever they see on social media and casually talking about energy and not taking in the full essence of taking into account what they're truly even speaking of. You know, people will just my energy is just off today. I don't know, bad vibrations here. I don't like it. Let's go. You know, you probably shouldn't have gone to where you were going to begin with. What were your intentions when you left the house? Why do you spend time with the people that you spend time with? You think you're tapping into something really deep, and it's really just... See, we were already deep, and then we simplified it. So people, instead of having to go, my vibrations are telling me that they're not mixing well with whatever frequency you're on. You know, that sounds a lot more interesting than what... And that's the way it originally was. You know, if you go far enough back in time, people understood that. And then we realized we can just say, I don't like this. This place isn't for me. I think I'm gonna leave this place. You can just say that. You don't have to go in to detail, because at that point you might as well just say everything that's happening. My eyes are seeing things that are repelling me and making me feel these certain feelings and ask certain questions about myself, and it's causing the bile in my stomach to churn, and my blood pressure's rising, and I'm smelling a familiar scent that reminds me of my childhood when Father used to scream at me by the pool because I laughed at his little shorts. And I can't smell Tropicana's suntan lotion or oil anymore. So I mean, we could just keep it simple, keep some stuff to ourselves. All right, well, been fun talking at you. I mean, I know I enjoyed myself. So let's get rocking and rolling. Have a beautiful week. Yeah, baby, yeah. Keep it to yourself, don't talk to me. Don't have to explain things so accurately. You could just say you don't like the place that you're at. Hey mama, hey baby, so long.
And that's how it's done, baby, here on the Clifford Nicgorski Show. Enjoy whatever time period you're about to experience next.